Good afternoon, traders. Today is January the 3rd. It's around 1:10 p.m. I hope everybody had a wonderful New Year's Eve, and I hope your resolutions are going to stick and you have a fantastic 2011. I plan on having this be my biggest year yet, and I hope you guys do the same. Now let's get back to business. Sorry I haven't got a video out over the weekend, but I've been doing a lot of fundamental research on these stocks that I'm in. One being Apollo. You guys already know I'm long 20 of the January 40 contracts, and I got in at $1.50. They're currently trading at $2.33, and they hit a high today of $2.39. So I'm up pretty nice in that position. And right now, I might scale out of a little bit. My partner told me I should have sold when we were up there around $2.40. I didn't, but the day's still early, and I might take at least 10 contracts off just to lock in a solid $1,000 gain. Now, we could go up to 41.44, and that's right around where the 100-day moving average is. It's probably going to be our next target, but I don't want it to come back down to 39 and slip lower. When you got a good gain, take it. Start out 2011 right. This would be my first profit I book of the year. Next, we're going to head into the next play that I'm in, and it's Pulte Homes. And you guys saw my video that I put out, watch list of last week. I said that this was one of my most favorable positions. And when we poked our head up here, the chart just looked very clean. We got over this support. Well, we're breaking over it right now. We put in a nice flag pattern, which we broke out of. And now it looks great. I scooped it up at 740, and our target was 730 to scoop it up, but it hardly hit that at all. So we got it at 740, and we're up about 40 cents. So I'm going to let this thing run, and the target's $8 a share. If we get past that, we might be able to get up to $8.50. But today, the 7.5 options are very active in the front month January contract. And then if you go back to February and March, they're actually buying the 8s and 9s. Next trade I'm in is X. I was looking for a short-term top in X right around here. I said, if you guys remember, I was looking for a lower high. But then I started watching the options calendar, and I saw that they were buying the 62 halves aggressively. So that kind of made me switch my contrarian bias to being short-term bearish to bullish. And we put in a clean flag pattern. They shook out the loose hands here, and we've just continued to go up, and now we're rallying. We're up 260 on the day. Looking at an intraday time frame, this thing is just having a massive move, and we're putting in another flag pattern up here. So I assume the 62 halves will be approached fairly quick. And the options are really astronomical. They're going through the sky. They're buying even 65s. They're aggressively loading in, but the 62 halves are very aggressive again today. So I believe that will be our next target. This kind of makes me mad right here, this ACAM, because I wanted to take a long on this. I should have been buying it on Friday. We had a large down move, and now you just see some short covering. We're currently trading at 48.65. And 48.62 is a level that we put in July's high. If we get a close above that today, we could probably make it back up to 50. And that kind of looks like this LVS. This was another one we were looking to take a long on. They ran it up on Friday, and now you see we're up again 71 cents today. Switch to a shorter time frame. Just a beautiful move. Look at this gap up, 45.90 to about 47, almost 2 points on this just gap overnight trade. See, the smart money was buying right here, guys, 44.40 and 3 points in 2 days. It's not a bad trade. The options went up at least $1.50. Look at Ben here. I called this a long. It was actually last Wednesday when I put my video out. You see this big move right here? This was massive short covering, and it was right above the 200 EMA and simple moving average, and then they just gunned it from there. Short-term consolidation, break over the highs, buy it when 11 was a major level. Now we're up $1.90 today. and someone just stepped out and bought 180 of the February 125 calls. That's a pretty big purchase. Crude oil is definitely going to 95, so I guess they're trading this on a resource play. CSC, another one of my long plays, breaking out today. And if you guys want to see my videos, just go and look from the past week, all these trades, if you haven't got a chance to watch them. I called all of these plays last week in my watch list video. Cisco, that was another trade. One of my subscribers is actually in this, and it's looking pretty good. I think we'll get up to that 2075. They scared a lot of people out when they pulled back here, but this is also our strategy. Remember the gap down and then the smart money. You break out of this tight consolidation right here. Smart money starts buying. 1930 becomes a decent level, and then they gap it up here and just consolidating for another move higher. NYX, another long play. Last week we consolidated on low volume, and now you see us breaking out. OI was another long play we had, also breaking out, and this one could probably hit 3150 maybe by tomorrow. PCL was one that I'm very disappointed in. I really wanted to buy some calls of this, but I didn't have the opportunity because my account is pretty much, the buying power is maxed out in it. But look at this. I called this in last week's video as well. This was a beautiful chart. Let me zoom out, sorry. We have this long-term downtrend that we're peeking our head over today, but look at this, the short-term downtrend. Then we broke out of it. You see this bar right here? This bar right here. We pulled down and then we tested the trend line, and then we continued up. That's the kind of trades that I really like to be in. It was a very low risk trade, this, because the worst case scenario, your support's going to be right under the 20 or 50-day moving average, and your target's probably going to be at the previous high around 39, and they might even get up and break out a higher high here. We'll keep watching this. One more thing to note, the 20 is above the 50, so that's also bullish. Looking at Western Digital here, and if you guys watch gold futures, this looks just like the gold futures chart, this exact pattern. Remember, gold futures put in 1424 high, and then it came up around the 1432 area, and then we just previously tested it. So I'm not saying that they resemble the fundamental aspect, but on a technical basis the charts look the same, and it's looking pretty healthy here. We continue to make higher highs, and this could be another potential higher high, or they could pull it back to the 36 level, bounce off and sell off a little bit. I'm not sure, but right now it's short-term bullish. Whirlpool's consolidation is on low volume, so probably a big move is coming, regardless whether it's down to the 200 at 87.50 or it's back up to this 95 level. It's going to happen probably in the next week and a half. So we'll just keep watching the options calendar to see if there's any unusual activity in it. Zion, I called this as a long. It's one of my favorite banks besides Wells Fargo and Big JP, but I think Big JP is a little overvalued right here. So this one just continues to be a monster, and every sell-off it gets bought aggressively. So when day trading, this is a heck of a financial stock to day trade. It has massive moves. Next, we're looking at CRE, and CRE was I guess you could call it a depressed trade because we have this declining trend line that we've been flirting with over the past month. We've been making lower highs, and we really haven't made a lower low yet. So I guess you could say that that's short-term bullish, and if we could get back above the 68.82, which was the prior gap down, we might be able to pick up a little steam and move to 71.32. ME continues to go higher. This thing doesn't have any bad news on it. Remember, it was months ago, but they came out and someone got trapped in the mine. That caused the stock to tank a little bit, but they just have massive takeover chatter, and it's been a great stock to be long over the past few months. Next, we're looking at MHS, and this was one I said that you could look at to just get long for day trades, intraday basis, buy on dips, and you could hold it over the next few days. Well, that's been working out for you. You would have been up more than you were down. You just had one down day, but if you bought it at that bottom, you'd be up almost a point now. So, RIM, look at this. Look at these moving averages here. Guys, if you don't do this already, you really need to pay attention to moving averages and crossovers and what they mean. But as you see, the blue line is the 200 EMA. The purple line is the 200 simple. When they cross over, you want to see the 200 cross, the EMA cross above the simple. That's more bullish. Then when you see the 50 cross above the 200, that's where we're looking to start getting long. And I don't like how the 20-day moving average looks, but we are trying to get above it, and that could be bullish. Right now, we have to be short-term bullish on RIM, and as long as we hold above 58 and these two 200s, we're still in good shape to make a higher move. RRC is moving up like most other resource stocks. When this big down move, people thought it was devastating. This was where the smart money came in, and I suppose they'll be selling some around 46. And OCLR, this is another strategy play. Gap down. This one, right when we got above the gap, this isn't very likely to happen. Usually they'll test the gap and then bring it back down, but this one was strong, and then we consolidated above the prior gap, put in a nice tight range, rallied, consolidated over the 200 simple moving average, and now we're continuing. We already took out the prior gap fill, and it looks like we're headed back to 15. Alright, so I'm just going to look at gold futures and oil real quick, and then the ES, and I'm done. Gold futures, remember, 1424 high. Looks just like Western Digital chart. Western Digital's right here, so it still has the potential to test that previous high. Anyways, so 1432. This could be building up to a head and shoulders. I wouldn't call that just yet. Only if we get some strong supply selling around this previous high of 1424 week. If we break above and break a higher high than 1432, the trend will stay strong and look to keep buying on dips. So we have to see a higher high here. Everything looks good. Even on the 1 hour time frame, we're still above the 50. So we're not getting bearish here, but we're just, if you're long gold futures right now, have a nice tight stop. And if we do get a move over this 1432, there's a good chance we can move to 1450, which is psychological level. Looking at crude oil, it's just been every single dip has been bought very aggressively. I would not recommend shorting this thing. Even the day that we sold off a little bit down to 89, look at just the buying action on heavy volume coming through here. Definitely bullish on crude. It's going to 95 period. I called 95 by the second week of January. Let's see if I'm right. And look at the ES, the E-mini S&P 500, just on a stampede up. It's just going up, and it's not going down. So do not short this market. I promise you, you will get hurt. It feels like the late 80s again, when the market just kept rallying and rallying, and everyone was looking for the top. I remember Paul Tudor Jones. Actually, before the 87 crash, he was looking for the top, and he said he kept getting burned, but he caught that one good trade that made everything back and made him almost a billionaire. So pretty much what I'm saying is, go with the flow, have your stops tight, get good research on strong fundamental companies, strong balance sheets, and when that top comes, I'll be here, and we'll all be working together to catch the biggest moves. So anyways, I'm wrapping this up, guys. I'll get you out a video tomorrow, and enjoy your day. Good luck trading.